Brian Murphy is with us from Dover, New Hampshire. And Brian, congratulations on your induction into the New Hampshire Legends of Hockey.
Oh, thank you. It's a privilege to be here, Ken. It really is, and I appreciate the board of directors and Jimmy Hayes and all the guys, Johnny Norman and the whole board for inducting me. I appreciate it.
32 seasons as an NHL linesman. Just one of a handful of people to officiate over 2,000 games in the National Hockey League, and only one other American has done it. What an amazing career. I can't imagine jumping up on the boards as many times as you have and breaking up as many fights as you have over the years. Just tell us about that great career.
It was a privilege to be a part of that, the league, and, it's just, it's pretty special to, the NHL is the best league in the world, and, to officiate there was just a privilege to be there for 32 years, and I had so much fun doing it. I miss being a part of it, but it was a tremendous experience, and for a kid from Dover, New Hampshire, it worked out pretty good for me.
Yeah, and I remember that 2000th game at the TD Garden, and that had to be special for you. That number 2000 came as close to home as it did.
Well, the league allowed me to do that,
yeah.
So it was kind of set up that way. But yeah, it was a special night. I recognized it as we got closer to it, and I think it was really special for my wife Lisa and our two daughters, Casey and Shana. It was a night to celebrate, a lot of 30 years of traveling around the NHL, and a lot of great memories from that night.
Yeah, no doubt about that. You were a goaltender at Dover High School. And how did you get started in the officiating world?
I probably got started for the wrong reason. I was working at the Dover Ice Arena, and I was driving the Zamboni, and I was a business major at UNH, and the referees that would come in and do the men's league games at night would make more money in doing two men's league games than I did driving the Zamboni for 8 hours. So, my business degree paid off, and I said, I got to start trying to referee. So I really did that, but it was really my high school hockey coach, Dan Raposa. He was a Hockey East referee and kind of motivated me to start. I really wanted to get to college hockey, and my goal was never to get to the NHL, but it all kind of worked out that way.
Yeah, I guess it did, and pretty rapidly, too. I mean, you started in Hockey East, what, in 86, 87, something like that?
Yeah, I was there. Yeah, I was there for 2 years, and it was a great experience. I mean, it's to me, it's the best college hockey league in the country, and to be a part of that, and I was able to work like the Bean Pot and the Hockey East Championship and the work games at the Boston Garden was unbelievable in that old building, and then to get to Lake Placid and do the NCAA Championship game was really special too.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So just a couple of years in Hockey East, then on to the NHL. Do you recall that first game in the National Hockey League?
I do. It was in the building's demolished now, but it was in Landover, Maryland, at the old Capitol Center. Pittsburgh Penguins played there, Mario Lemieux, and the whole gang. So yeah, it was a special night for sure. And I still in my office at home, I still got the puck from that night. The off-ice officials from Washington gave me the puck after the game on a plaque, and it's still sitting in my office at my house.
Wow, that is terrific. So we talked to Ben Lovejoy about the transition from college hockey to even the American Hockey League, which is quite a transition. You transitioned from Hockey East to the NHL. What was your transition like as an official?
Well, I mean, the game's just so much faster. It's a little bit smoother because the players have so much more skill level. But it's the speed of the game, and I think it's also the expectations. I mean, that it's professional hockey, and they're expecting you to be perfect, and I think that's probably the different aspect of it. And obviously, in the pro hockey game has more fighting and things like that. So there's definitely a transition to go to that level and to be in buildings where there's 18,000 people at the game. It's obviously a lot different than the college game.
It has to be. 9 Stanley Cup Finals, the 2010 Vancouver Olympics, 1999 NHL All-Star Game, the World Cup in 2004 and 2016, Winter Classic at Fenway in 2010, and I guess coming from around here, that Winter Classic at Fenway must have been special for you too.
It was, and actually the fun part of that story was they let us skate at Fenway the day before, so the kids, I'll never forget that. We went and skated at Fenway the day before, and it was pretty special. It was, I was able to bring a couple friends with me, and it was a pretty memorable day to be there. And because when I was growing up, my dad was like a huge Red Sox fan. So he always took us to a couple ball games every summer. And so to actually go back there and to be on the field and to, as an ice rink, it was a special night.
Oh, it had to be. So that has to stand out as a great memory. What any specific memories you have about certain games or certain things that happened on the ice?
I think, the Vancouver Olympics were really special. I mean, especially because I was able to bring my family with me for a few days of that. And just to be in Vancouver for 16 days was just phenomenal. I mean, to be around the best players in the world and, the atmosphere and everything, that was one, certainly a special. And I think every time I worked the Stanley Cup Finals, I would feel that way. And, especially towards the end, it just becomes a bigger and bigger event in these cities now. And, being like in Nashville, that was a special one where you walk down Broad Street in Nashville and there's, thousands of fans, and you walk into the game and this, like, the whole street is full of fans. It was just incredible.
Yeah.
But, so I think the other thing too would be, I mean, twice I got to work the Game 7 of a Stanley Cup Final, and I always said when your employer picks you to work the biggest game of the year, it's pretty special.
What about, we talk about, baseball umpires, having a rather nomadic, experience, lifestyle during the season. And same thing, I would think, for officials as well. You're going from city to city, a lot of times probably by yourself and not with a group like a team would travel. What about that existence? It's got to take a toll.
It's challenging. I mean, I spent the worst thing that ever happened with these phones is they created these apps that track everything. So I got 4,400 nights with Marriott, so basically I spent about 12 years of my life in a hotel, and it's challenging to say the least. And I missed a lot of time with my kids, but you talk about some of those special events, we tried to make up for it, but. That's the part of the job I just don't miss now, being retired from the NHL. I don't miss the travel and being in hotels and things like that.
Because every game is a road game for umpires and officials and so on.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
But that's, I always tell, people always ask, did the fans influence you all? And it really isn't. I mean, when you get on the ice, I always felt like it was like a fishbowl, and like it's the players, the coaches, and us, and I really didn't know there was anybody else even in the building.
Yeah, I guess after a while it gets to be that way. So, and you're credited, I know, for mentoring any number of younger officials that are now in the NHL or AHL or college hockey.
Yeah, actually, I'm flying tomorrow morning. I'm flying out to Columbus. Kid that went to school at UNH, played on the UNH club hockey team. He's going to work his first NHL game tomorrow night in Columbus.
Nice.
And he's a kid I've mentored a little bit over the last 4 or 5 years, and worked with him at some development camps for USA Hockey. And he's working his first game tomorrow night, so I'm going to be there to share it with him. And probably the best part was he ended up taking my old number too. So
really?
Yeah. So yeah. It's really another UNH grad with the same number on the ice.
That is fantastic, really, and it must give you a great feeling when something like that happens.
It does. You want to see people be successful. I mean, I think it's a weird dynamic, but the biggest thing is, when I was in the NHL, I wanted to help people get there. And I want to see people be successful, and I think it's fun to sit there and watch a game on TV and see guys that I've worked with and mentored or whatever, and now they're on the ice working games.
And really, you think about it, it has to be a lot tougher to get to the NHL as an official than it is as a player, because there are a lot fewer officials than there are players.
The numbers are challenging. They have very few officials, and there's no question it's a challenge to get there. It's even a challenge more so for American officials, because the percentage of Americans that they get to do it is lower than Canadians. So it's definitely challenging, and it's a real sense of accomplishment when somebody makes it there.
Oh, absolutely. And as you mentioned, you started in Hockey East, did a couple of years there. Now you're back with Hockey East.
Yeah, you don't always get to go home. And it's just the timing was perfect. Steve Metcalf, the commissioner, and Kate McAfee and Brian Smith, the associate commissioners. It's just been an unbelievable experience, and I think that probably the best part is that we just have an unbelievable group of great coaches, and it's just a privilege every day to work with them and be associated with them. And I just enjoy that aspect and so much, and I just enjoy working for the league. It's been a nice transition for me.
Well, again, Brian Murphy, congratulations. Welcome to the New Hampshire Legends of Hockey. Richly deserved. You had a terrific career in the NHL, and now on to Hockey East. Great to have you with us.
Thanks, Ken. I appreciate your time today. Thank you.